Nursing 4400, Cultural Factors and Health Disparities, Homeless Adults Aged 18 to 64, by Michelle Pruitt. Media portrayal. The homeless are often portrayed in a very negative way by the media. In movies and TV shows, they are often portrayed as being eccentric or unstable. They are often the butt of the joke or as lesser than non-homeless people, such as seen in like the movie Big Daddy, here portrayed by Steve Buscemi. Um, the news usually focuses on ways to deal with the homeless, but doesn't usually focus on the plight of the individuals themselves. Um, Media is incredibly influential. People will absorb and internalize what they see in TV and movies. Portraying homeless people as lesser beings influences the way real people relate to the homeless. Family support. Many people become homeless in the first place because they don't have any familial support. Many homeless people don't have any family, spending much of their childhood in the foster system. Others have families but who have passed away. Many find that they are not welcome at home for various reasons. This includes being addicted to drugs or alcohol, being mentally ill, or being LGBT. Peers. Peer support can be an invaluable tool for getting people out of homelessness. Many organizations devoted to battling homelessness have peer support programs. These peers are either employees or volunteers who work to form a relationship with homeless individuals. The goal is to foster friendship and trust and can be a positive person in the life of a homeless person. This can be a professional peer or a friend. It can be impossible to overcome homelessness without some sort of support. When people feel alone and unloved, there isn't much motivation to change your lifestyle. Positive peers have the benefit of making homeless people feel less alone. The guidance that peers provide pulls many people out of homelessness. The cycle of homelessness. The cycle of homelessness perpetuates because it can be hard to escape it in the long term. More than a third of the homeless population is employed, but these people often work low-wage jobs that can't entirely pull them out of poverty. Children raised in homelessness tend to perform worse than their peers and perform worse academically. This is due to them having less resources and being under more stress than other children. Homeless adults struggle to save money and find long-term housing, while homeless children eventually fall behind their peers in school. Barriers. Many people become trapped in homelessness for years, decades, or even their entire lives. There are many factors that prevent people from escaping this lifestyle. It takes money, resources, familiar or peer support, and long-term commitment to accomplish this. Some of these barriers include mental illness, alcohol or drug use, job loss or low-wage work, discrimination, and poor health. Homelessness in Utah. There is a moderate amount of support for homeless people depending on where you are. Most resources are available in the large cities, such as Salt Lake City and Ogden. This includes the Ogden Rescue Mission of Salt Lake, and the Geraldine E. King Women's Center. I've provided their contact information here. The resources are less robust in smaller towns. This is an oversight that could definitely be worked on. Homeless people don't just exist in large towns or cities. Socioeconomic status. The people who eventually become homeless usually start in a lower socioeconomic bracket. These are often people with less education and work jobs that offer lower wages. It can be incredibly hard and most of the time impossible to overcome these barriers. Healthcare. With very little resources, many homeless people aren't able to maintain their health. With little money and no health insurance, many homeless people are unable to have regular doctor visits or go to the ER when they are unwell. Many homeless people are only brought into the hospital after being found unconscious on the streets. A 2019 study found that homeless people visit the ER 60 times more often than the general population, and that their multimorbidities are comparable to 60 to 69-year-olds in the general population. Homeless people are left without the resources to maintain their health, which results in their health deteriorating in a much more significant way than with a non-homeless person. Race and ethnicity. A large percentage of the homeless population in the U.S. is African American. African Americans make up 13% of the population, but also make up 39% of the homeless population. A 2017 study found that physical and sexual violence is an unrelenting presence in the lives of African American and Latina women. The women analyzed in the study had been victimized as children and continued to suffer abuse in their adult lives by their domestic partners. Religion. There isn't much correlation between religions have the highest populations of homelessness, but religion still plays a large role in the lives of many homeless individuals. Religion can be a great source of strength and relief for homeless people. It can help guide people and give their lives meaning while they endure their struggles. A 2017 study found that American Indians and Alaska Natives who use their spiritual beliefs and traditional practices to help cope with their living situations. The participants stated they found solace in their religion, also reported drinking less alcohol. Gender. Being homeless is much more dangerous for women. Homeless women struggle with their periods. This is due to a lack of menstrual products and having limited access to showers, running water, etc. Homeless women are also extremely vulnerable to violence and are more likely to be a victim of physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. Geographical location. Homelessness exists all over the planet. It's estimated that 1.6 billion people in the world have inadequate housing. However, some countries are better at reducing their homeless population. For example, in 2020, Japan had a homeless population rate of 0%, the only country in the world to achieve this. Japan was able to reduce its population rate by providing accommodation in empty hotels, providing incentives for employers to hire homeless people, and reducing rent prices. Biases. Many people have biases about the homeless that prevent them from being personally invested in their struggles. Some common biases include that it's their fault that they're in this situation. If they worked harder, they could stop being homeless. Homeless people are lazy. All homeless people are addicts. There are plenty of resources available, they just don't want to use them. Many of the biases are rooted in the idea that homeless people are responsible for their own situation and that they have no desire to get better or improve their lives. This is untrue. Homeless people face countless barriers that prevent them from finding housing, steady work, and overcoming their addictions. It's not as easy as the general consensus would have you believe. Conclusion. The culture we live in is extremely aggressive towards homeless people. While many people have compassion for this group, many more take advantage of their situation to abuse and harm them. Many people don't think twice about the plight of this group because our culture has taught us that homeless people are barely human at all. We as a society need to work towards altering the way our culture perceives and treats homeless people. And here are my references. Thank you.